Hi, I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not be afraid of the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. Tonight's show is discussing a lot of light in the sky because we just had a full moon at 23 degrees of Scorpio. And so if you've been looking on our website, starborninstitute.org, you would already know that the title of tonight's show is Stability. And the reason why is because that full moon in Scorpio was being conjuncted by the planet of stability, Saturn. And Saturn is the planet that rules time and rewards that are earned the hard way over a long period of time. So Saturn does represent things also that money cannot buy, such as honor and esteem in the public eye. It rules your public reputation and your career. And it does rule things like trust and stability and perseverance and steadiness and simply continuing to go on and not letting anything deter you. That's well placed in the sign of survival, Scorpio, because it simply means that some people who have faced failure are still determined not to let it get to them and to go forward. And those are the very stable people right now. So that planet of stability conjunct the full moon in Scorpio was also being trined by wonderful planets in the other water signs, Jupiter in Cancer and Neptune in Pisces. So it was so well fortified that it is very, very strong. And it simply means that if you are a person who could perhaps have a lot of experience, a good education, a great track record of achievement, then you could stand to be recognized or rewarded now, or perhaps by July when Saturn goes direct in Scorpio, since it is a financial sign. However, we know that under a full moon, the moon opposes the sun. So that well-fortified full moon, and along with Saturn, were opposing the sun in Taurus. And Taurus, the sign of Taurus, is not as well fortified as the sign of Scorpio. And that is why people who represent stability are certainly going to be seen in a very clear light right now and extremely well regarded and receive a lot of emotional and financial support, which is important. So this is a time when family members can stick together or draw together. And this is a time when, even if financial resources are scarce right now, they can be allocated to people who really deserve the credit or really deserve some sort of help due to all the effort that they've already put in. And so this is a time, since Scorpio also rules justice, when justice will prevail. And that's important because, you know, there's two ways of thinking about money that are involved under this full moon. Taurus represents the second house of how you make your money and what you invest it in or what you spend it on. But Scorpio represents money coming in from any other source, such as inheritance, grants, insurance proceeds, loans. It represents credit and debts and taxes as well. And Scorpio represents whole industries or entities, such as the military, and it rules the police, since it does rule justice. And it also rules the whole medical field because it's a water sign, and all of the water signs deal with healing. And in fact, Scorpio particularly represents the field of surgery, since sometimes there's no way to heal except to sort of clean out the wound, or to make sure that the infection is gone and that things are somewhat surgically removed in order to heal. And so it takes a lot of precision and dedication to do those kinds of things. Scorpio also rules the whole insurance field. And so just remember that, because these areas are the ones that we are being able to see quite clearly, and we are being able to see who is stable, who has a good track record, and who doesn't. And we are also able to see people who have willingly made sacrifices for the things they really believe in, such as something bigger than themselves or more important, or values that last over a long period of time. So those are the people that will be rewarded or recognized right now, which is good. because at the same time, new starts are extremely well favored. It's just that they might need a little funding, and there isn't enough money to go around right now. So if you are looking for funding and you've got a good idea and you've also got a good track record and a lot of experience to boot, then you are going to be perhaps funded right now, or in the near future, perhaps by July, as I said, when Saturn goes direct. And the reason why is that both love planets, Venus and Uranus, are in the sign of Aries, which rules new beginnings. So those are very well favored right now. Also, the idea of starting over or mending a relationship in some way so that you can sort of get back on a good footing with somebody, that too is well aspected right now. Anything that is started with the best intentions has a very good chance of succeeding right now. It may not be completely well funded, but it could still move forward right now, since the direction we're moving in is toward the future. Uranus does rule the future, and that is what is so well aspected right now. All right, what does this idea of stability mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, for you, I think that you have a lot of good intentions, but they can be somewhat devoted to whatever your primary interests are, since the focus can certainly be on you in a loving way right now. So if you wanted to start off on something new, Aries, I think you're going to get a green light on that, which is good. But what would your motivation be? It might be that you're tired of all the pressure that you've been facing for months now, because after all, there are 5 planets in the cardinal signs, all harshly squaring and opposing each other. And so Jupiter in Cancer is squaring Venus and Uranus in your sun sign. Pluto in Capricorn is also squaring the 2 planets in your sun sign. And Mars in Libra is opposing Venus and Uranus. That's not too good. It can mean that people can be in a little bit of a fighting mood, particularly by next week, Aries. So you need to watch out for ruffled feathers in your life next week, or trouble that might be headed your way, particularly involving a partnership, a legal settlement, or some sort of contract. And that's because next week, Mars, your own ruler, finally goes direct. So it will be stronger, and it will be opposing your sun sign. So I would say, if you just feel like getting out of a tough situation that isn't looking as if it's going to improve, then why don't you just go in a new direction? And you could be financially motivated, since the sun in Taurus is right ahead of your sun sign. So either you've got your eye on something a little pricey that you think you can afford, or else you want to go for a job that will make more money. And I would do that if I were you, Aries, and I wouldn't waste a second. Don't look back. Go forward instead while the stars are with you. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, this is simply a time when, with the sun in your sign, that you can really have your mind on investments, and behind the scenes, with both Venus, your sun sign ruler, and Uranus in Aries right behind your sun sign, I think you've got your mind on love, Taurus. Or it can be something that could be looked upon as a labor of love, something that you'd like to start up right now, or something that you've really been looking forward to. So I would say, in the background of your life, where people can't necessarily see what you're doing, you are very involved with something that's really got your attention, or someone who's really got your attention, and you can be very devoted to nurturing that along in one way or another. So it could be a relationship, there could be the possibility of a move, or it could simply be that you want to develop different career interests, one that involves something that you really love doing, a lot more than whatever you're doing now. And all of that is very well aspected. So as I said, I wouldn't waste a minute trying to fight City Hall in any way. In other words, if people come up with roadblocks, then if I were you, I would just keep concentrating on what's behind the scenes, because that is where you're going to be very, very lucky. You really won't be lucky if you've been competing with somebody else right now, because the full moon and Saturn, that planet of stability in Scorpio, which is very well fortified right now from a grand trine in water signs, is opposing your sun sign. So someone who is older or more experienced or has great credentials is probably going to, justice will prevail, and they probably will go ahead and get the nod, or they will be promoted or recognized in some way, and you may be overlooked if you've been competing with them right now, Taurus. But you may not even notice that, because I think you've got something really wonderful going on behind the scenes, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, this is simply a time when you are probably thinking of doing a lot more than just one thing. You could be concentrating on different projects, and they could be short term, but rather exciting for you, because Mercury, your own ruler, is in your sign, and it's being beautifully trined by Mars in Libra, and that Mars is about to go direct next week, and that simply means that you could be joining other people who are in a big hurry to improve their future in one way or another, and you could be involved in whatever new is on the horizon. The reason it's going to be something new is because that is represented by Uranus, and Uranus is in Aries along with Venus, and those two planets are sextile your sun. So you will have the opportunity to be involved in something new. I don't know if you're going to be the head of it, or simply a sort of somebody who works along with everybody else, like a coordinator. But you are well aspected to begin to work on things that will make you very, very busy, Gemini. So I don't think you're going to slow down for the rest of the month. In fact, I think you're going to speed up as Mars speeds up. And that means that you can get an awful lot accomplished. So I hope you're in good health, Gemini, or you've got your roller skates on, because I think you're going to be speeding forward now. And that is because that planet of stability in Scorpio indicates that people who really deserve some sort of backing will probably get it right now. And once they do, they're going to want to move forward pretty quickly. And that's what you could be involved in. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, Cancer, this is a time, remember, when there are 5 planets in the cardinal signs all squaring and opposing each other, when you can meet a lot of challenges. And you've been doing that for months, Cancer. But on the other hand, I think you're going to get real lucky. And if it isn't right now, it will be by July. And that is because that full moon in Scorpio, along with Saturn, that planet of stability, both of those planets are trining Jupiter in your sun sign, Cancer, and Neptune in Pisces is also trining Jupiter in your sun sign. So there is the possibility that justice will prevail, that people who are very, very stable, have excellent credentials and a good track record, and want to put their money on people who are extremely trustworthy and who know how to make sacrifices and get through tough times. If those people get funded, you will too, Cancer. So I do think you're going to benefit either by knowing someone who is very stable, or being involved in an organization that is extremely stable, and that you can benefit no later than July. And it will be a benefit that could last you a long time. And so I think you have got a lot to look forward to. It won't be something flashy, it'll be something very stable. And I think that that will make you happy. You know, time marches on, and I think it's going to march your way in a very favorable light, Cancer. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, it's a little different story for you, and the reason why is that yours is a fixed sign, and that full moon in Scorpio, along with Saturn, the planet of stability, were both squaring your sun forcefully, and the sun in Taurus is also squaring your sun. So this is a time when you sort of have to pay up, Leo. You're going to have to figure out how to deal with debts or taxes or loans, or if there is money that you thought was coming in, it may not be as much, or it may not be enough to cover all of your expenses. So you will have to work out terms in order to stabilize yourself financially. This doesn't necessarily mean that you're broke. It just means that you've got to work on some sort of past financial problem that perhaps you can get better terms on it, perhaps you can get an extension of something. That might be possible. But the really good news for you, Leo, is that Venus and Uranus in Aries are trining your sun, both of them, which means that somebody else who wants to make a new start and head in a new direction can certainly be responsible for landing a plum assignment in your lap, Leo. And so you could start off on something new that will get off the ground, that is highly favored, and that will be successful. And that is something that you have to look forward to. But I don't think you can get away from some sort of financial matter that has to be resolved. You can't ignore it anymore either. You will have to do something about it. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, this is a time when I think you've got your mind on money, and I think someone with money has got their mind on you, Virgo. And that's because yours is a practical sign. You are, your sign rules banking and accounting and efficiency and good time management. So you are a very productive employee. And so it is you that may benefit from the fact that the full moon was conjunct Saturn, the planet of stability. After all, those two planets are sextiling your own sun sign. And the sun in Taurus is trining your sun sign, and so is Pluto in Capricorn. So you may be offered some sort of promotion. You might be put in charge of something because you already have a good track record of being very thorough and consistent and reliable. And those qualities, which are qualities that involve devotion to duty, are things that money can't buy. And that is what people are really valuing right now. And so that is why you may be promoted or given additional responsibility and additional income to cover your responsibilities. So you may be looking at a raise soon, or it can be that you are going to get a much better job offer or be able to sell an investment for more than you thought it was worth. So you have all that to look forward to, Virgo. So this is a very good time for you to concentrate on practical problem solving and keep working hard. People are noticing. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, this is a time when I think that you may be gearing up for some sort of battle. And the reason why is you have Mars in your sign, which does rule war, and it's about to go direct next week. So you could be deciding that you're going to have your say, or you're going to sue somebody, or you're going to make sure that things are balanced and fair because they haven't been, particularly the way you've been treated. And Mercury in Gemini is trining your sun, meaning that short forms of communication or short trips or buying and selling and promoting are extremely well favored, and you can find other people to help you with whatever your aims are. But Libra, I urge you, go ahead and make a deal, but don't make war. And the reason why is that I don't think you're strong enough to survive it. And the reason is that the strength is in the sign ahead of yours. It's because the full moon and Saturn, the planet of stability, are both in Scorpio right ahead of your sun sign, and they are the ones that are being really well fortified. And so you could decide that you want to make war or get angry or that you're right about something, particularly after next week when Mars goes direct. But I urge you not to go down that road, Libra. Yours is the sign of peace. You will not be making yourself happy. And on top of that, new starts are so well aspected right now because Venus and Uranus are opposing Mars in your sun sign that the nod is going to go to people who want to do new things. It will not go to you. And that's why I'm saying this is a better time for you to make some sort of a deal, even if it's a short-term deal or a temporary deal. That means that Mercury and Gemini can be helping you. But by yourself, I think you're going to run into trouble because yours is a cardinal sign, and there are still 5 planets in cardinal signs squaring and opposing each other. So I don't think you're going to win. And money is going to be an issue. You won't win on the money front either, particularly not if you get mad at anybody. So I hope you cool down. All right, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Well, Scorpio, the full moon was in your sun sign along with Saturn, and that simply means it's you that could be looked upon as extremely stable right now and strong and willing to make sacrifices, which you've probably already made, in order to do your duty and maintain very high standards, the kind of standards that do not change over time. And so if you are a person who has been adhering to all of that, it can really show. You are a person who has a lot of emotional support right now. Jupiter in Cancer is trining your sun, and Neptune in Pisces is also trining your sun. And since Pisces rules dreams, if you have a creative project in mind, Scorpio, you may get the nod right now. You may be the person that is put in charge of something that does have a lot of future potential, and it can be money-making potential, but you are the person with your track record and your experience and your steadiness that is just right for some rather challenging jobs. So I think that might be coming your way. Congratulations. Okay, what does it mean to Sagittarius? Well, Sagittarius, I think that you could certainly have the opportunity to change really quickly on something, and that is because Venus and Uranus in Aries are depicting new starts as being very, very favorable right now, and they trine your sun sign. So something could come right out of the blue. It could be the love of your life who suddenly shows up on your doorstep, or it could be involving something that is a labor of love, or it can be involving someone else who's making a new start, but you really can be supportive of them, which is great. What you can't get away from, Sagittarius, is the fact that that full moon, along with Saturn, was in Scorpio right behind your sun sign. And that means it illuminated financial problems. And I think that perhaps, you know, the credit might be getting stretched right now, or bills are piling up, or costs are going up, particularly medical costs could be going up either for yourself or your loved ones. And so you do have that to contend with, Sagittarius, and you can't get away from it, because I don't think there's a way to decrease that without you really paying attention to making an effort on that. So you may be looking for a second part-time job in order to help with the bills, but you could get a wonderful opportunity to find one right now too. Good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, this is simply a time, Capricorn, when I think you can be very much involved in the benefits of this full moon in Scorpio. And the reason why is that that full moon was conjunct your ruler, Saturn, and both of those planets are sextiling Pluto in your own sign, and the sun in Taurus is trining your sun sign. So I think you might be a person who's sort of in the right place at the right time right now, Capricorn, and it can be that you get a very good job offer or some increase in pay or a promotion, or it can be that people are valuing the things that are very steady. Your sign rules perseverance. That certainly is what Saturn represents. People who are willing to make sacrifices and work very hard for things they believe in that are irreproachable, that are very high and have a lot of good value to them, particularly over time. So there can be some money, since Scorpio is a financial sign, that has been delayed or held by someone for quite a long while, that may be coming to you, Capricorn, probably by July when Saturn goes direct, which is good. What you need to watch out for, particularly next week and for the rest of the year, is that Mars is going to be moving starting next week. It will be going forward and direct in Libra, and it is squaring Pluto in your sun sign. So you have to be really careful about all financial matters and not get overextended. If you've got your eye on something a little pricey, I would say hold off, Capricorn. Don't go into debt for anything right now. That would not be a good idea, because there are still 5 planets in the cardinal signs, all squaring and opposing each other, and you could become vulnerable to high costs or hidden costs right now. That's why I would play it real quiet or safe on the financial side. But you also may be able to draw on some money that's been held for a long time, either through an inheritance or through some sort of delayed payments that may come your way, which is good. Just hold on to it when you get it. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, this is simply a time when you, just like Leo, have got to be real careful about the money, and you have to face financial matters right now and try to solve financial problems, because the moon and Saturn in Scorpio We're squaring your sun sign, Aquarius, which means there can be some lingering debts or financial problems that regarding loans or taxes or the high cost of living or credit that have to be resolved. You cannot evade them anymore. It can be that a good investment is getting too expensive, and that is because the sun in Taurus is also squaring your sun. And so you may need to sell something right now, but luckily, Aquarius, first of all, if you sell something, you'll have the money in your hands and the drain on your income will stop, which is what I think you need to think about. And also, you will have the support of others who can help you make some sort of deal right now, because Mercury in Gemini is trining your sun and Mars in Libra is as well, and it's going to go direct next week. So you can be involved in coordinating some sort of partnership deal or legal matter or some sort of contract terms, and they can work out favorably for you in the future. Even if they don't involve you making a new start, you can be involved in them in some way. And a new start, even if someone else is making it and you are simply coordinating it, would reflect very well on you, Aquarius, and that is because Uranus is your sun sign ruler, and it is in Aries along with Venus, and they are sextiling your sun. So you need to be happy for other people who are starting new things and be supportive of them, because that'll get you somewhere too. Good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, the full moon in Scorpio along with Saturn is going to do you a lot of good. What could it lead to? Well, it could lead to a greater stability in financial matters for you, and that is because Scorpio is a financial sign ruling credit and taxes and loans. And so there can be something that is worked out. Maybe you've been paying off bills and that could improve your credit rating. Maybe you're thinking about buying a home since Jupiter in Cancer is trining your sun. And maybe that is looking a lot more possible now due to some frugal financial management that you have been doing for a while, maybe even a couple of years. And so I think there is the possibility that a dream can come true for you. It may come true as early as June or July after Saturn goes direct in Scorpio. Jupiter is moving away from Cancer. It will move into Leo in July. And so you won't have the benefit of a grand trine in water signs anymore. So I think you should be doing things that will make you happy right now, Pisces. And I think that you're getting closer and closer to being able to afford them as well. So keep up the good work in money management and don't go overboard right now. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, you can see our show on our website, starborninstitute.org, anytime you want, because if you subscribe on the website, it will be sent to you, and then you can watch it anytime that you have a chance. And you can always contact me on the website as well. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next week. Bye.